Today, I'm glad to have y'all on because we are going to be talking about a couple things on this second episode of Yungfleur Live on YouTube. And I feel like we're liking it here, are we not? For the people in the garden, are we liking the new home? Are we feeling the YouTube platform as opposed to the Instagram space? I'm not gonna lie, like I'm feeling a little bit sort of like nostalgic and kind of like I'm a little homesick. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of homesick. I've been using Instagram as the platform uh, to air the Young Fleur live shows for at least like 2 years now. I think two maybe 3 years now of doing like kind of that sort of like streaming on there. And so coming over here, while it definitely I feel like we're feeling the benefits of it, I definitely am missing the old format. But it is what it is. They don't know how to they don't know how to treat a good thing when they have it, babe. So here we are. It's nice that it's more stable for you. Yeah, I'm genuinely enjoying this. I'm so happy that like we're able to kind of just like chat. We've got the chat on the side as well. And my other homegirl, Amita, who has her platform Being Black In, by the way, a great Black travel platform, Being Black In. Please go ahead and check that out. And she actually has a story with me, a blog post. Why am I forgetting these things? A blog post that I did with her, like an interview that's going to be dropping very soon. I think tomorrow even. So look out for that. But yes, this is very much giving like a vibe that I can get with. But I do think, not gonna hold you, that I might every so often like pop up on the random on the Instagram space. This will be more of like a scheduled thing, like every Tuesday, every Sunday. You know that you can find me here at, the scheduled time, Sunday afternoons, and then Tuesday evenings in New York time. And then, every so often when I'm feeling like it, you know what I mean? Just a cute little kiki, just getting ready or whatever, I'll jump on the Instagram space just because that's still like the home where like most of the following still is until like people are all pulled over here. Speaking of which, so much love, so many thanks to all the new subscribers. I think we jumped up another like 13 to 14 subscribers since the last show. Just off, like I always feel like I'm panhandling on Instagram, but we need the followers, we need the subscribers, you know what I mean? We need to get the show going, and more people need to know that we are doing these things, that we are having these fashion conversations. So I'm so thankful to all of you, Morgan as well, who have been sharing the YouTube platform and letting them know that I'm out here and doing this thing for us. So shout out to that. But back to the meat and potatoes of why we are here today. I want to talk about, one, Zendaya looks. I want to talk about, two, this Ice Spice float, this is oversized, inflated Ice Spice that was running around Times Square and through New York City with part of her collaboration with Alexander Wang. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about Richard DIckson, former Mattel CEO, who is now currently at The Gap, responsible for the Tyla Jungle advert that we saw that went very viral. And I think also part of the Palace collaboration that recently dropped in, with Gap. I don't know if we checked that out. Did y'all see the Palace collab with the Gap? Let me know. If not, I can pull up some pics for us to look at. But if y'all already saw it, I'm not going to go too far over it. But basically, I wanted to talk about his impact so far since he's taken over as CEO at Gap. I feel like I really have high hopes for him just because the work that he did at Mattel with Barbie and with that collaboration, that campaign and over 100 different collaborations that he did globally that were just really dynamic and such a great way to revive the Barbie brand in 2023. And so I want to talk about how he's bringing a little bit of that magic over at the Gap, as was the whole reason that they were so thirsty to grab his ass from over there. So we'll talk about that as well. And that's the plan for today. So let's start off with the first things that are first, right? Okay, Zendaya. I was talking about it on the Instagram, but I'm like, I completely forget. Like, I was so caught up in being a hermit, trying to juggle work, family things, whatever, and then also just watching the trailer for her new movie Challengers. What is the movie about? What is the damn movie about? Let me pull it up. I watched the whole trailer, and I don't know what this new movie is even about. It seems like she was like a budding tennis star, and she gets an injury that I'm not sure if it's career ending, but it seems like it's career ending because you don't see her play tennis anymore throughout the trailer after she break her ankle. Um, After she broke her ankle, I mean. But yeah, then she ends up making out with two white boys and having them eat her coochie. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. Um, Let me read it right here for us. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Tashi, a tennis player turned coach, has transformed her husband from a mediocre player into a world famous Grand Slam champion. To jolt him out of his recent losing streak, she makes him play a challenger event, close to the lowest level of tournament on the Pro Tour. Tensions soon run high when he finds himself standing across the net from the once promising, now burnt out Patrick, his former best friend and Tashi's former boyfriend. Mm. So I guess do with that what you will. But I don't know if any of y'all are eager to see the film. I guess I'll go see it just off the strength of Zendaya alone. But that's not the main point of why we're here today. The main point is I forgot that, getting a new Zendaya movie means we get new Zendaya red carpet looks and new luxury law roach moments. Could have been a series. I feel like it should have been because I ain't seen the movie yet, so maybe let me not speak too soon. And hi, Auntie, by the way. Happy Sunday to you. Thanks for joining, my love. Welcome to the space. Go ahead and like this, tap this, hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. I really would appreciate it because this is how it helps me build this up for us. And that's what we're trying to do. So help your boy out. But anyway, yes, let's get into it. Samia, thanks for joining, baby. Yes, on this good Sunday. We are good. We are here. Video is giving clear. I don't know how long that's gonna last because I'm about to start sharing, media content, some images, some videos. So I think that's when the lag comes in. But we're gonna hope. Okay, we're gonna hope and pray that the good Lord holds it down for your boy. Thank you for the thumbs up. I would appreciate a few more if the dolls would be so kind. But I'm gonna get into the looks for us. I'm here for you. All right, let's get into the looks. So she starts off. Shoot. Let me pull them up because I saved a bunch of photos and I will just pull up what I've airdropped for the people. Let me go. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate y'all so much. I'm airdropping photos that I say I'm just get the fact I can just y'all so easily and with this big ass screen as well. Like I'm in heaven, baby. But okay. I got some pictures for y'all. Let me see okay, as I'm navigating this thing, let's see what your boy can do. All right, I could share screen with y'all, but can I just share media with you? Can I just share a photo or a video real quick? Let's see. Okay, I guess we're gonna share screen. But that's not what I wanna do. Window, entire screen. Do I want to share entire screen with y'all? Let me make sure my screen cleaned up. I ain't got nothing that I wouldn't want to be all in the people's spaces. Hold on. I'm getting myself queued up for y'all. All right, cool. Cool. This is decent. I'm about to share some stuff with y'all right now. Let's see what it gives. Are we here? Is my screen being shared with y'all? Okay, hold on. I think it worked now. Ooh. Can you guys see the whole screen? Are y'all seeing the whole screen? Let me know because I want to pull up these Zendaya photos for us. Oh, actually, this one. Ooh. All right. Can you guys see my screen or no? Let me know. Do you guys see my screen or do you just see me? No, it's gonna be delayed. Okay. All right, I'll just pull up the photos of my phone. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. It's not even, it's no bother. We start off, just run down the looks. So of course, this is apparently a tennis themed film. Whenever you share, it takes the quality down. I got you right now. All right. Next time I'm gonna go live from like a Starbucks and try to steal somebody's Wi-Fi because clearly mine is not built to handle all of the high quality experience that I'm trying to distribute to the people through YouTube. Like, come on. What's the problem? But okay. Can I do this? Can I do that? Will that help? I don't know. Let me see if I can do this instead and if that would work. Okay. Mm, that's so janky though. I would hate to do that. I don't know. But either way, let me see. Maybe I can pull it up off of my phone like that and show y'all the looks. That could work, maybe. That could work. That could work, right? We see this. So this is actually the first look that she pulls that we've seen from like the campaign for the Challengers film, and she's there with her co-stars in the background. And she's wearing here this Louis Vuitton uh, co-ward set. So she's really been on the roll with like Louis Vuitton looks. She is a Louis Vuitton ambassador, so it only makes sense. Um, I guess after her Valentino stint, this was the next one that she went to. So she is a Louis Vuitton girl and also a Bulgari girl. I mean, she's really giving like sponsors all up out the ass and ambassadorships all up and through. But this is how we start off with a very calm, like casual look here. I do appreciate the kind of like cut out situation here in the deep V-neck. That's cute. And so this was a cute start. And then we got the little Bob moment. Listen, I've been saying this Bob right here, hardest working woman in America. This Bob is serious. Actually, I think it got, I feel like maybe this is like post film probably. So she probably grew out the original Bob that she had in the film, right? Her first look was J.W. Anderson. It was literally a girl playing tennis on a sequin dress. Yeah, I'm getting to that, my good girl auntie. I just wanted to start with the very, very, very first instance of us seeing her being dressed for the promotional campaign for this film, and this was it. Going right into what you were talking about. Actually, before I even get to that, she was at the Indian Wells Championship in another Louis Vuitton look, which was very much appropriate for the tennis courts, as you can see. And this was a co-ward set with a skirt, tennis skirt, slightly oversized hoodie, and a little tank moment. So there was this moment, and then of course I have to get into part of this was her in Australia as well. In this, I believe they said that the shirt, the name of the brand is Elisabetta Franchi. Elisabetta Franchi, and she wore an Elisabetta Franchi shirt with shorts that I'm not sure if they're also from the brand as well, and then the So Kate pumps. I don't know if y'all saw. I don't know if y'all saw, but there was a post that Law had did of him with like a ton of shoes that he had pulled, a ton of Sokate, Christian Louboutin Sokate pumps that he had pulled for Zendaya, because as we know, the Sokate pumps are Zendaya's staple throughout her sartorial career with, or sartorial run with Law Roach. She stays in a pair of Sokates, which is crazy because from what I've heard, I've never tried to squeeze my size 13 Piggly Wigglies and some Sokates, but from what I heard, these are not the girl if you're looking for a cute and comfortable, cozy piece that you about to rock all day and all night from the office to the party. This is not that girl. This is not that girl for you, from what I heard. Stunning, sexy silhouette. We love that little piece of little toe out, you know, that little bit of foot out. It's so sensual. But I heard that this girl is not forgiving. She's not friendly. She's not a girl's girl, but she is a bad bitch. And she stays in them. I love how like this is like her equivalent of Rihanna with the Manolo Blahnik sandals. I forget the name of them, but you know the ones with the thin strap and the stiletto heel that Rihanna stayed in and had like tons and tons of pairs. I think she even did her own kind of like reworked or like revamped Rihanna branded, co-branded version of them with Manolo Blahnik. But these are the Socates. And it's crazy. She stays in these. These are not comfortable shoes by any stretch of the imagination. I remember there was this one girl, this one woman who was a manager um, at when I used to work at Club Monaco way back when. And she had like, I think she wore like a clear and neon yellow pair. And then she had, this is when like Kim first had them like on the map and like all the dolls wanted to pull them on. And so she had like that. She had, I think like the clear with the pink tip as well, the neon pink. And then I think she had a black pair as well. She would like shuffle in and out of them during work and thought she was so fab. Shorty got me fired. You know who you are. Gutted me out as soon as she got her promotion. Nasty. Nasty word. But it's not even about her. We're going to move on. So after the Elizabeth Franchi look, we go straight into her look for the Sydney press tour. And she arrives on the red carpet in this stunning, as Auntie was pointing out, in this stunning J.W. Anderson custom Loewe moment. Perfectly on theme. I gotta stop scratching my nose. I look crazy, but my allergies are going crazy. I feel so bad for all of my other friends. I'm standing in solidarity with you. If the allergies, the seasonal allergies, if the pollen is rocking your world as well, my heart goes out to you. But let's get into the drama, the beauty that is this look. And so you see it's like this kind of like sequined, very much like tennis court green, deep V dress with the high slit, of course. This very simple silhouette. But then they have this depiction of kind of like the shadow of like a tennis player holding a racket. And you can clearly see the tennis ball detail up there in the corner as well. Fun, light feel, interesting, quirky detailing, or an interesting or a quirky print. The things that we've come to expect from your good boy JW at Loewe. And then, of course, a matching pump. This like Statue of Liberty green color. I fuck with it though. I'm here for it. And then, what did we think of that one? Did we enjoy this? And then, of course, Bulgari jewels because she is a Bulgari girl. So Bulgari earrings to go with it. These drop earrings. I'm sure it's diamond. And then we got one of these, which was a highlight of it for me. Was it a highlight for you? Let me know. But this look that she turned, my brightness is so crazy. Sorry, y'all. But this look that she turned here, this Lacoste stunner. Oh, I love this one. So good. I feel like this is like so Zendaya's brand. It's like, oh, please don't mind my nails. Please don't mind my nigga nails. But this is so on brand for Zendaya. It's giving young, it's giving, youthful, it's giving a little bit of an elegance, a sexy tinge, you know what I mean, with the mesh overlay, with the high waist brief situation underneath, or like the high waist hot pant underneath. And of course, she got her pumps. I was about to say these were Socates, but they are this like bejeweled situation. I wonder if they are just bejeweled Christian Louboutins, but I don't think they are. I don't think, because the cut towards the toe doesn't remind me of the Socates. I feel like it dips a little bit more towards the pinky toe than this one, which is more straight across. We need to have a convo about Lacoste because they are on a binder. We need to talk about Lacoste. We need to talk about, there are two American brands that have really been putting in some work on the like on some chill shit, but like landing every single press moment that they have, and that is Lacoste and Chrome Hearts. In the past couple years, those brands have really been kind of, I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's like a change in the teams or whatever, but like they both have been landing some really like high, highly visible moments. Chrome Hearts with the Kim Kardashian, leading into the more recent moments that even Cher wearing that like Chrome Heart situation when she was performing at the iHeartRadio Awards, which isn't a huge award show, sure, but like I don't remember even Chrome Hearts having moments like that. You know what I mean? They weren't doing things that were really penetrating like the younger Well, let me not say penetrating the younger generation, because I think that with the help of social media, that helped boost them up to become something that was a lot more covetable by younger folks. They have already like established themselves, but I think they definitely picked up interest in younger generations thanks to TikTok. And now with that, not TikTok, but social media and all of that. And I think with the recent kind of resurgence of interest in these brands, they're taking full advantage of that and like really, like I said, landing these great press moments. So them getting this fab look on Zendaya, and I believe she's worn a really cute look from them before. Get into this. There's like some really intricate like beading work that happens in this skirt as well. And I love even the way that it's styled with this kind of asymmetrical like sagging off of the brief kind of thing. That is so cute to me. Notice the hair got dyed. Yes, the dyed hair as well is actually, I mean, I feel like we all knew that this kind of look would eat on her. I feel like it's like it would have like been predictably stunning for her to go this light. And I do live for her darker hair, but I'm enjoying this lighter kind of honey blonde moment. And she's been going lighter and lighter, I think, as she's been going through the tour a little bit. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. And of course, she had Bulgari earrings to match. And they said that this look actually takes inspiration from a fall 2024 look from the Lacoste runway. I always feel like sports brands like that. I mean, Lacoste is different because like they work more specifically with clothing than like maybe like a Porsche or something like that, dropping a clothing line. But I feel like even Porsche, like I feel like these brands like the Porsche and Lacoste and like they're taking a little bit of a different direction with their marketing and where they're placing themselves fashion wise. Let's get into another look though. This was when following that we got the trifecta, the LV trifecta, baby. No games. No games played. Let's break it down. Law Roach, in his latest instance of styling acrobatics, image architectural gymnastics. He really that's the thing. Like I said, like Law is very much a chess player when it comes to this fashion styling shit. He's very much about landing moments that are going to become pop cultural fodder. And that's where his attention lies. Like, not just on putting something on you that's going to be cute, but putting something that is going to generate conversation, that's going to instantly spark dialogue, that's going to kind of hit different factions of the general population, from the fashion Twitter, fashion geeks, you know what I mean, to people who genuinely just are Zendaya fans, to people who are tennis freaks, you know what I mean. He's able to pull all these different groups of people that may not overlap. Tennis people who may not care so much about fashion, or celeb stands who don't really know too much about sports, or fashion folks who don't know too much about sports. You know what I mean? He's finding a way for all of these people to enjoy these campaigns, these promotional rollouts. And I think he does such a great job of that. And that is really how you that is, pop culture in essence, being the crux of so many different happenings and so many different demographics of people, and finding that common sense of interest and excitement and entertainment. He gets it. And also, you know what I mean? Like, he gets the politics of it as well when it comes to pulling particular looks, and I said this before, he understands the power of that flex, being able to um grab something from an archive, from a particular brand, or a look that's never made it, onto the red carpet, and being able to say, I did that. I made that happen. Your boy Law, not one of these other girls. Everybody calls themselves a stylist, but not all the stylists can do this. You know what I mean? And very much like setting the bar as to why he's the one that the girls call. He's the one that Zendaya calls time and time again. And I'm not mad at it. So let's get into these Louis Vuitton looks that we got, okay? Loved it. Loved every second of it. So we start off, right, with this right here. Ooh, is that the first one? No, the first one was, in fact, this Louis Vuitton look that she wore. And so for those of y'all watching, this was a Louis Vuitton spring summer 2013 look, while Marc Jacobs was creative director. Um, and ooh, not me getting messages. Let me see. Yeah, but it is part of. Let me do not disturb this. Okay. But yes, a stunning look, a stunning moment. And I had somebody say that, and of course, here come the white socates. Here come the white socates. You can't even see it. Hold on. Standing poised as ever. I don't know how she does it. I swear. Getting into the next look. He pulled this look from the spring summer 1999 collection. This kind of green, looks like some sort of poly material, like almost like a nylon taffeta or something like that. This two-piece set, and I love the styling on the hair as well. Huh. It just looks so fab and young, and also reminds me kind of like type looks, cord sets, real casual and everyday. You know what I mean? Live for this one. The hair goes crazy. The hair looks good, babe. And then we have the final look that we more recently saw. I think they just posted it. This stunner of a look. Hold on. And this was a custom look that Nicolas Gasquier made for her under Louis Vuitton right here. Get into it. So good. And it's more so even like the way that the skirt on this moves. It's a simple look, mind you, but I do enjoy the belting on it and all the other elements of it, from the hair to the jewelry. Like, I think all of that stuff really comes together on this look. It's not anything too brash, but like the moments are so finely placed. I love this necklace. You know, I love a necklace on the carpet. The girls love to deprive us, but we got one. Law looks out for the people. And here's a good look at the fit. What do we think? You love it or you don't? And so it has this asymmetrical belt detailing along the skirt. It's kind of very straight up and down, very geometric, but then this long, sweeping kind of pleated skirt that opens up, very much kind of like the riffing off of the tennis mini skirt or the tennis skirt vibe, and taking advantage of that kind of spread out situation. Love it. Love this. Soft and simple, yet it pulled a punch. Absolutely. And Zendaya just pulls everything off. Like she is the fashion plate of the season, as I say, of the moment actually, because she's had quite a few seasons on her. So good. And we got a couple inches on this too. Let's not forget, put a couple tracks in just for flair, period. This look deserves it though. So good. Shout out to whoever did hair, okay? The hair has been bitching. Hold on. Who did the hair? Did we tag the hairstylist? No. Do we know the hairstylist? Whoever did hair, whoever's handling hair for Zendaya during this era has not missed. Get into it. Luxury Law. He said, one girl, one city, one day, one brand, three looks. Are you following the story? Okay. And he's definitely telling one. Love this, so effortless but impactful and glamorous. I mean, it's just what we've come to expect. Like the way I always say, like Fantasia always just looks good. Not to compare the two, but just like in the same sentiment, where I'm just like Fantasia. There was that one Dolce and Gabbana dress that she wore recently that was like that was crazy. But in general, I feel like some of the girls, like they are really locked in with their glam squads, and they've just hit a really good rhythm and just don't miss, quite frankly. Love this so effortless. I think it's Ursula. Was it Ursula? You might be right. I think you're right. I very much think you're right. Yes, indeed. Shout out to Ursula Stephen. And I had already liked this, mind you. So phony. Shout out to Ursula Stephen for this amazing job on the hair on Miss Zendaya Coleman. Clap it up for Miss Ursula Stephen, okay? Give her her tens, because this is, come on, come on. Threw the tracks in. We had the bob, but then she hit us with the tracks. You weren't ready for that. You weren't ready for that. You ain't know. She was about to pull up and give you blonde bombshell, but here she is. Legend. Don't play with Miss Ursula Stephen, okay? Love it. Love it. What? She bodied that. Go to her store. She has the tracks laid out on the table. Hold on. Oh, she got a couple colors on her too. I wonder what shade of blonde she did use, since she said she didn't use the 613 like the girls normally do. She said, let me tell you about the hair. Who is it? The Hair Shop Inc. I guess they're the ones who supplied the hair. They have the perfect match for every blonde. Um, the world of blonde is bigger than 27, 613, and 30. Ooh, clock it, Miss Steven. Clock it, Miss Ursula. She said these are some exclusives, babe. Y'all ain't even on this side of the spectrum yet with this kind of blonde honey. Exactly. And it worked. I mean, I love it. I think the color on her, I feel like I remember someone had said, like, there's a blonde for everybody. You just have to find the tone that works. And they definitely found a couple that worked for her, because they went lighter. They went lighter from when she first had the bob. and was rocking it in the in that Elizabeth Frenchie blue situation that she was rocking in Australia. Ursula does Tilda Swinton hair too. This is how much I don't be on Instagram, or Instagram doesn't show me stuff. I did not know that Ursula Stephen does Tilda. What? I knew it was a black woman working on Tilda hair because the auntie cut goes crazy. But I did not know it was Ursula. Oh my God, y'all know Tilda is my favorite. I love Tilda so much. Of course, you got look like if that's not her permanent hairstylist, it needs to be. Ursula gonna body a shortcut. She's gonna body a pixie. Like, don't play with her. That's crazy, isn't it? She really does my good girl, Miss Tilda Swinton. I'll never forget when I saw her running out of, like, I think she was headed to a church or something, but she was by Avenue A and 14th, and I saw Tilda running by, and I was just like, what do you even say to somebody like that? You know what I mean? I feel like I couldn't even, I mean, first off, I've never been one of those people to be starstruck. So it's very much giving profesh. It's very much giving like, I'm a star too, the hell. But you know, like I would definitely be like, what do I even say to her? Like, how do you even approach her? Like, I guess just say I love her work. But either way. Moving on from that though, I think, you know, we are already getting dazzled with the Law Roach, Zendaya, moments on the carpet for the challengers. I'm looking forward to more of these tennis themed looks and seeing where that comes into play. And seeing what other archive moments he pulls. I wonder what else he's gonna pull. Are y'all speculating? Like, what do you think he's gonna be pulling? We're talking about like tennis themed fashions here. We're talking about all across the archives. We're talking about the most iconic moments that we all love. Those are the things that are going to be Law's go-to. What do you think we're going to get? And also, he's going to try and keep us guessing too. So, what do you think we're going to get next? I feel like we're probably going to get more of these pleated skirt moments for sure. So, there's going to be some sort of iconic pleated skirt beyond this one. And something, I don't know. I don't know where it's going. But I will say one of the other highlights of this is like this is the most attention I have ever paid to somebody who wears Louis Vuitton in forever. Like the Cynthia Erivo looks be a yawn to me. The who's the other one? Olivia Munn, or is she Gucci? I forget. But whoever is like normally Jennifer Connelly or whoever, I don't remember. Whoever be like the whoever's like normally an ambassador for Louis Vuitton these days, whatever they have on is like a snooze fest to me. I could care less. But this I got time for. More so because it's on Zendaya, because like, what am I gonna do with a yellow sweater and some shorts? Whatever. Let's move on to the next topic though. Miss Ice Spice was all over New York City in this new campaign as part of the latest rollout from Alexander Wang, who she is the ambassador for. Speaking of ambassadors, let me pull it up for y'all. But essentially, they had a gigantic inflatable Ice Spice going around New York City, kind of in a pose reminiscent of one of the images from the campaign. Ice Spice Times Square. Let's see if I can pull up a photo for y'all. Are y'all good with me pulling the stuff up off my phone to kind of save the video quality from lagging for you? I feel like this is working out. But let me see. Alexander Wang. Why can't I pull it up? See, this is the thing about it. I don't really. Let me just show you first before I pop my shit, right? Let me see. Let me go on to TikTok and see what people posted. Um. Oh, I'm pulling it up for us. Mm. Let me see. Can we get it? Can we get it? Can we get it? There we go. So this was it. This gigantic Ice Spice float, basically. And it looks like one of the photos that she shot for Alexander Wang as part of this big old quote unquote bold campaign. And so they just had this driving around New York, I guess, for people to be like, oh my God, it's a big ass Ice Spice. Ooh, I'm gonna take a photo and put it on the internet. Um, I guess. But the thing about I didn't like, someone posted like someone sent it to me on Instagram. Shout out to Tink, who is a follower on here and a beloved part of the garden. But yeah, they posted this, you know what I mean? And I feel like most people didn't really know that this was happening. There aren't a lot of video. Like when I look on Instagram, I look on TikTok, there are videos for sure, but this isn't getting anywhere near the type of traction that think it I don't even know if I would say should or could, but it's not getting any traction, you know? Like, I feel like it was a real, to do all that, it didn't really go anywhere. Because, first of all, I don't think a lot of, I guess they sprung it up as a surprise, but there is an article that I found that announced that this was coming maybe a week earlier, but no one really knew what was going on. Um, and also, like, what do you do with um, a big ass Ice Spice running through Times Square? What okay, we took a photo. What else is there? Like that's not really compelling. You know what I mean? And I feel like the whole like oversized Ice Spice thing or the oversized float thing or the oversized like marketing thing has definitely reached a peak. That looks in front of the Port Authority. Maybe they put it in the wrong area. They said that it was going through Times Square, but first of all, like that's even they I just think that this was a dumb idea. I think this was a dumb idea for several different reasons, but then I'm gonna like flip side and put some other points up so people could take picture. Maybe it should have been parked somewhere. It looks like it wasn't really, it looks like they would park it for a time and then keep going. But once again, the main reason that I think is dumb is one, they didn't give much kind of like of a warning, or I guess there was a press release that went out, but it didn't really circulate enough for people to be wanting to look out for this. I don't think that Alexander Wang promoted this either on their social media from what I'm looking at, and neither did Ice Spice. So there was nothing to really see this coming, even though could have worked out, and I'm gonna talk about it later, if they would have timed it right. But how would they have known to? But either way, you driving this shit through 42nd Street. You know how packed 42nd Street is. You can't just drive something this huge and just leave it around. Like, and in these tight ass blocks as well. People aren't, and the thing is that no one's gonna be able to see the thing at length. Look at this. Someone is struggling to even capture what's going on, and you can't even see it full on. You even lose the logo. Like it's just, it was not the best idea, I think. Because all of the footage that I've seen people reshare of this, it's either cut the fuck off, I barely can see what I'm looking at, or it's from far away. That's the only way you can even get like a full glimpse of it is from down and down the block. You know what I mean? Not really the most effective thing for UGC. Um, sorry, I'm looking at this and still someone's like talking on it, throwing me off. But yeah, I just feel like there was a better way to do it. 42nd Street may not have been the best area to stage something like that. Even though it is Times Square, I get it, but that's a huge ass truck. Like you could have floated something up, or you could have did like the other people do in 3D render stuff like that. But I think that Ice Spice has already done something like that where they 3D rendered a giant Ice Spice somewhere. Am I bugging? Am I bugging? Am I lying? I'm pretty sure I could find that Ice Spice. I could be lying. But aside from that, um, it doesn't really, like I said, it's not really compelling. It doesn't lead people to anything else. I don't think anyone's gonna be like, oh, let me look at the campaign off of this. Um, hold on, let me see. And I think, like I was saying earlier, my earlier point, I feel like the oversized product marketing thing has reached a bit of a peak. So we saw it's actually the 1 year anniversary today. April 7th is the 1 year anniversary of when Jacques Wamus first launched that campaign that they did in Paris, where they were doing like the oversized bags that were running through the city. And of course, that was a 3D rendered thing, so it wasn't real. But they had hired a 3D artist to digitally render these oversized Jacquemus bags driving through Paris, excuse me, and also placing them in other settings in France. And then from there, I think that really took off because other brands started to peer over at how well it was doing with the Gen Z folks. And then here we got this huge surplus of like big ass bags and big ass people and big ass shoes and giant ass Timberlands in New York City, giant ass Coach Tabby bags floating all over the place, giant what was the other one that I posted the other day? I posted a whole I did like a little mini album of like 3 different things. But let me see, what was the other one? The other example. Yes, Marc Jacobs with the giant tote bag. Let me show y'all here. The giant tote bag that they had in the Lower East Side. And then this was the boot, the Timberland boot up there that was driving. And then this was the Jacquemus bag, the original ones that were the original campaign that the 3D artist had created in April of 2023. And so we're getting into that, but I feel like there's ways to do it. And it's also getting dragged out. I don't know. I don't know if this was supposed to be a more affordable way to do things, but let's not even focus on that. Let's focus on, as I have been doing, chronicling, the steps that Alexander Wang has been taking to kind of like raise itself out from this period of cancellation that they faced back in 2020, after Alexander Wang faced his charges, or not charges via social media and the internet, of being accused of being inappropriate with a few different people. And I've just been kind of like tracking steadily every so often on here, kind of talking about different checkpoints on like things that they have been doing to come out of this cancellation, because it's just been fascinating to me. Like, how does a modern brand transition and evolve past and return after being canceled? What does that look like? Because I feel like we haven't seen anything like that yet. So in this latest thing, I feel like this is Alexander Wang's attempt to return to the New York market. As we know, as we may or may not know, I don't know if y'all do or don't know. Let me know. I might have to make another post, like a separate post, like talking about this from beginning to end. Is he fully back? Well, here in the US, because in Asia, he never slowed down. Thank you, Morgan, for nailing the thing on the head right where I was getting ready to start. He has not slowed down one bit in Asia. Let's make one thing clear. Through the allegations, through the apologies, through the cancellation that happened here on the US side, when people heard about him inappropriately touching a model or a few other different people that came up and stepped and shared their stories and their accounts of being kind of assaulted by Alexander Wang, and he apologized for that. But of course, folks were like, "No, you're canceled. It's a wrap. Like, ill. We don't bang with that." Fast forward to now, people are singing a little bit of a different tune. But while that happened, of course, we started to face the COVID pandemic, and that whole time, I want you to know, Mans was making money. The coin never stopped. Okay. Ain't shit changed. He was in Asia. His brand was boosting up 300% in China, opening up stores all over. Okay, he had that kind of like home loungewear line that he dropped. A rave success during the pandemic when everyone was spending their time at home, and already a rave success for the Chinese market that was buying into him. And I'm not not the Asian market. Let's be clear. The Chinese market alone was powering that brand enough that he was able to turn profit 300% over, baby. So he didn't really need to do it if he was fine with staying over there. You know what I mean? If he was fine with staying kind of based in Asia and didn't, for his own personal business, have his sights set on kind of, reclaiming the West in a way, he could very well just stay over there. But like you're saying, Morgan, with that new home office. Yes, that's right. That big ass office that I think is near Hudson Yards. Um, and the viral marketing campaigns, and tapping into the musicians, the rap artists. He's always had a friendship or a relationship with female rappers, or women rappers, I should say. Yeah, and so all of that has been kind of like the way that he's been steadily kind of like building his way back. Who we talking about? I'm late to the party. Hi, thanks for joining. Welcome to the Yungfleur Live Space on this good Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. We are talking about Alexander Wang and the recent campaign that he did with Ice Spice. Yeah. We're talking about the man that did the Ice Spice, yeah. Alexander Wang. And so he has been kind of like, now that he's making his way back to New York, and so he hasn't had like a full-on show in New York yet. That's like, I think the last kind of or one of the final kind of like anchors that he'll be putting when he's like officially here and ready to take over again. But he has not had like a full-on like fashion show for real like he used to do. Just kind of like lookbooks and smaller presentations here and there. And so I think he realizes that he needs to take this very slow. And once again, the thing, it's not that he needs to take it slow. He doesn't need to take it slow if he's trying to just have a comeback just for comeback's sake, because Rihanna's wearing his stuff. All the kind of like focal points of like fashion signifiers or the green lights as to what is cool and what is hip and what is in have already kind of silently vetted this man. He is back on the carpets. People are talking about him like nothing ever happened. I'm pretty sure in the Chinese market, in the Asian market, I think this issue was such a Western issue that they either weren't aware or didn't care, or at the end of the day, he's always had strong Chinese support, strong Asian support from the Asian community. They've always rallied around that brand. And I think that they were kind of going to do that regardless, as a whole, as a general population. And once again, being able to turn 300% profit during the pandemic when brands were fucking folding, shutting their stores down, and you are not even focused on the US market. You've honed back down in onto one country alone. That, I mean, you can't knock the hustle. So yes, so now with this Ice Spice thing, I think this is his latest example of trying to tie into American pop culture, New York pop culture specifically. And like I said, I don't think he's just trying to come back. He is trying to dig his feet even deeper into the US market. Like, I think for him, it's on some like whatever happened before that was able to pull them, kind of like uproot his operations because he was so cancelable that, he had to shut things down in the US or kind of pause things for a second. I think his plan is like, this time around, there's no way you can cancel Alexander Wang. Ain't shit you gonna tell me that's gonna make me, shut down stores, slow down operations. We are gonna make money in spite of any firestorm, okay? I think that he is really making an effort to try and embed himself in the culture in a way that he is in China. You know what I mean? To the point where people are so distended from the drama of what he went through or what he, of the circumstances around his allegations. And not for nothing, like, niggas in the hood don't give a fuck about what happened. I really feel like no one over here, no one in Fordham, no one on Fordham Road, the home base of Ice Spice, where I am, you know what I mean, is caring or really aware of Alexander Wang's allegations. You know what I mean? They think of Alexander Wang, they're gonna think about that two-piece gray set that went viral a couple of years ago that Kylie and Rihanna and all the dolls started pulling on. Like, that's what they're gonna think about. No shade, he gets the proportion fabrications right for the city girls on the go. He understands what city girls want. His stuff isn't the most complicated. It's not the most like, highbrow, and it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to sell. And he's a great businessman when it comes to making things that are commercially viable. Like, the way that he mixes materials and kind of creates new fabrications, the pieces that are these like novelty items that, kind of borrow from things that, are really tapped into kind of aesthetic interests of the moment and the marketing to match. He gets it. And I think that like I said, I think it's going to pay off for him. And this does not at all reflect how I feel about the man, whether I support Alexander Wang or not. I ain't shopped in that store in a month of Sunday, so I can't, you know what I mean? But just for the sake of reporting what's going on, you know what I mean? Doing my due diligence, doing my job, which you came here to see. Yeah, like I feel like he's definitely on the up and up. He's doing a great job. He's doing a great job. And I think the fact that he is not rushing so quickly into like being like, okay, we're here is a great pace to take things. I do think that this Ice Spice float was kind of like on the weaker end of his recent promotional campaign, but it is what it is. There's more to come from this for sure, and we'll keep an eye out. We'll keep an eye out. Let's move on to the last thing that I wanted to talk about, and that is I don't call this man all different types of names. I'm so sorry. His name is, excuse me, Richard DIckson. Richard DIckson. Richard DIckson, if you know or don't know, is currently the CEO at The Gap, the great American people. Yes, indeed. And he was, quote unquote, some of the articles claim, poached from Mattel. He is the one that is responsible for the onslaught of hot pink Pepto-Bismol flavored Barbie marketing that we have been getting for the past like 2-3 years, bitch. That movie wasn't out until last year, but I swore I was seeing nothing but pink straight out the pandemic. Like, what? He did it. He was a magician, babe, and did such a great job, like I said earlier, of making Barbie relevant again. That really was the goal, and I think that he passed that with flying colors. From tapping into these partnerships, these really interesting partnerships. The Valentino PP Pink moment, that was no damn coincidence. Very much Barbie inspired, probably Barbie branded, and collaborated with, you know. And so now he's at Gap, trying to bring some of his magic over there, like I said earlier. And Gap is definitely a challenge. And so I'm really excited to just see how he's gonna do it, or what he's gonna take to do it, because like the leadership roles at the Gap have been cursed for years now. They pull great talent for sure, but everybody just cannot manage to pull the sword out of that rock, babe. They cannot make Gap fetch. Gap at one point was at the pinnacle of pop culture, of what people enjoyed, what defines being American people and being trendy and being hip. You know what I mean? They were definitely on the mark. Their commercials, iconic. Shout out to Gap Playlist, that Instagram that always posts the music that would play in the stores. You know what I mean? Like there was the entire microcosm that was the Gap universe was just so airtight and on the money with reaching the people and giving them what they want and taking things that were already part of their everyday life, incorporating the Gap brand into it and showing how Gap is part of the fabric of everyday American life and taking it even further and kind of predicting cross-cultural connections from what we are already familiar with seeing visually, from musicians teaming up with, certain cartoons, teaming up with, just certain kind of staple brands of American life, automotive brands, you name it, sports brands, of course. They took all the denim people that got laid off from Ralph after COVID and still can't bring the denim back. And that's sad because the denim, I always talk about the denim and how I felt like that was the strongest suit. My mom lived, and I think, well, these days not so much, but when I was growing up, my mom lived for a pair of Gap jeans. Like that's all we stayed in. Just for the people who are joining in, could you go ahead and thumbs up this for me, I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you again for joining the Yungfleur live on YouTube. Back to what I was saying. Um, that was the one thing, and now it's so sad. And now they've fallen behind. Thank you for the thumbs up. They've fallen behind and become completely culturally irrelevant. As our good girl Evelyn Lasagna would say, you are not a motherfucking factor, Gap. You're not. You're not. And every CEO, every creative director that'll come in stays on board for a little bit, and then they get funneled right out. Funneled right out. It's like, and they'll do the thing with the press for sure. Like they're tapped in to all of the American press. So GQ is always going to do a story whenever they would whenever Gap would do those seasonal kind of collaborations where they would collaborate with a few different American designers. I love those, by the way. Like that was such a it was a shame that didn't take off the way that it should have. I feel like they had some highlights like around the time that they were collaborating with like Stamped LA and another couple brands like. But yeah, they just never managed to make anything stick. I still have my Gap Vinicava dress. Listen, they really had some dope collaborations, and they did a great job of spotlighting, American brands of varying aesthetics. You know what I mean? The way that they stepped in around the time that the streetwear conversation was ramping up. As a parent, I do shop the factory for my little, but the prices for play clothes exhaust me. Yeah, and then and then I guess they've tried to negotiate things by taking that like capitalist brand thing, like make your stuff more valuable or more covetable by making it more expensive. And it was like, God, baby, please, 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 relax, relax, relax. Slow down. You are not one of those girls. It never gave like that covetable situation. Like no one is going to follow you there. You are for the moms, and that's no shade to the moms. You are for the people who are looking for great, good quality clothes that look decent, are presentable, are going to last through a few washes and keep on kicking. You are that. That's what you've become. And I mean, that's what you've been, but that's what you've been kind of like relegated to as being like the best case scenario. You're no longer, you're at this point no longer the one that kind of defines what is cool, or you fall on the back end on that, and they just can't ever seem to grasp the zeitgeist. I feel like they're always a couple steps too late, and that's all the jobs I keep seeing for kid at Gap, all Gap factory jobs. I mean, they're opening Gap factories all over. So here on Fordham, even, everybody knows the iconic Gap store that has been here since literally I was a baby. Like, I've been shopping in this thing since I was at least 5 or 6 years old. And that store, I don't know if it was originally a Gap factory branded store. I don't know if that was even a concept before, because I don't remember them having any sort of branding on the store that said it was Gap factory. But now in more recent years, I've been seeing that. Sad that Old Navy is doing better than Gap. I don't fancy anything from them for myself. It hurt me to not give a fuck about the Dapper Dan collab as a Harlemite. I feel you. Not for nothing. I was looking at that Dapper Dan stuff last night, even, and like, they did like 2 drops actually, and then there was a second drop that was like a denim situation, and the denim just did not take me personally. It wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't exciting for me. I thought the colors were fun, sure. I'm even trying to get into this Palace Rugby collab. But getting back into it, we're at the precipice of what I think is a turning point with the Gap brand. The denim was a bad LV knockoff. Oh, for real. Yeah. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks for sure. But what I was saying, Richard DIckson, the new CEO at the Gap, is trying to turn things around. And, I've been reading up on him, and, he said with Barbie, the method to how he made that successful was just looking at characterizing the Barbie brand, and not so what it exists as like an entity or as a business, but on a very human level, what are the human qualities about that brand about Barbie that people connect with. And revisiting that nostalgia. He really definitely harps on nostalgia and regarding that with his strategy. And so, we got these moments to kind of see Barbie as what she used to be, see Barbie as what she is now, and see what she could be. Definitely a past, present, future kind of depiction of the Barbie brand, but through it, also understanding the current dialogue around women, around feminism, around gender roles, around dolls and playing with dolls, and how we're in such a different space around that conversation than we were when Barbie was first out in the black white swimsuit. You know what I mean? And harnessing, because that is where pop culture lies, in the conversation with the people, and harnessing that conversation and being like, okay, how do we create something that speaks to that dialogue, does not shy away from it, does not attempt to create this fortress wall of a narrative that is completely tone deaf to what the real is, and just would rather go into its own fantasy and be kind of very egocentric in that way, because that is what some brands like to do. They like to just tweet through it. They like to just la 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 la, like things are just as we decided to talk about in the board meeting, and we're just going to continue with the marketing ploy, and we're not going to break from it. I don't care what the people say. If they like it, if they love it, if they hate it, we're just going to keep doing A and then B and then C and then D, like we wrote about. And I love that they've been able to kind of really in real time incorporate public reaction and public reception into the way that they tell the story. And that is really how brands in 2024 will succeed. It's a real time thing. I've been trying to adopt lately this mantra that you can't plan while you work. And so I feel like that's what stopped me up from doing things like even getting on here and going on YouTube, and just understanding that there's a timing for each one of those things, and not to try and start and stop at the same time. But counter to that, I feel like marketing requires maybe not necessarily doing those things simultaneously, but maybe a rapid kind of listening and speaking and listening and speaking kind of thing. You have to be very deeply ingrained in the conversation, because as y'all know, you get on Twitter, you go to bed, you wake up, and a fight will turn into everybody's made up, and actually everyone's, the launch of a new TV show, or a group, like, people can be beefing and then suddenly join up and go on tour in a week. And social media has the power to create these like rapidly changing events. And so being able to get on top of that is really the only way that Gap will be able to thrust itself back as a relevant brand. And case in point, they did something that was pretty cool with that, with their recent Tyla Jungle campaign. Everybody was raving about it, like, oh my God, the Gap did that, the Gap did that. But, this was exactly what Richard DIckson was talking about when he talked about going back to the nostalgia of things and going back to what people on a human level connect with about a brand. And so what they did that was great was they pulled two kind of cultural occurrences that were sweeping, social media and sweeping the conversation, which was Tyla and Water, and just her on the scene as a South African artist, kind of charting globally now. And then Jungle and the really viral Back on 74 music video and the choreography that went on there, and also became something that everybody was trying to imitate. And this is where you're able to kind of tell people who you are, because what they did was go, I know y'all, like they jumped in and kind of ramped up the conversation even more and did it in a way that felt relevant. You know what I mean? They didn't pull two different people or two different things that didn't make any sense. They didn't pull two people that were hot last year. They didn't pull a music video that was hot last year. They pulled something that was just very recently, popular and viral. And they were like, look, y'all didn't even think about this. You love Tyla, right? And Tyla's dope. And you love seeing her dance. And you love that Back on 74 video, right? And that made you want to dance. But what if we put the girl who can dance with the dance that everybody wants to dance, and put it all together into one whole situation? And it's like, this is what we do. We define what culture is. We understand what's hot. We understand it so much that we can take the two things that you love and create an experience that you'll enjoy even more. And I think, you know, having the coins and the budget to make something like that happen is important, but also being able to pinpoint, um, those opportunities to overlap and garner attention is also important. And I think that they did a great job with that. So I also read about it being a digital first campaign, which is like, I mean, people were like, oh, like they were kind of like fake, like, give them their tens for that. But I'm like, duh, everything's gonna be digital first. Like, are you under a rock? Do you know what's happening? Of course, everything's gonna be like where people are looking at it, which is in the digital space. So that makes sense. But yeah, they're doing a great job so far. And then this Palace collaboration, I'm wondering, have y'all seen it? What do you think of it? I was looking at it today and I was like, I actually want to cop a piece or two. Let me pull up the polo because the rugby shirt I enjoyed. But did we see the Palace Gap collab? Let me see if I could pull it up for y'all. This collab I thought was actually pretty decent. This is the rugby shirt. I kind of want it. I feel like I might cop it. What y'all think? It's a cute situation. It's a cute colorway, and I love like the thick red banding in the middle for this color scheme. Let me see. Nothing too crazy. And then they had another moment that they did with this collab too. It's kind of like a patchwork button-up shirt situation. The track jacket is already sold out. I'm steaming because I got on last night while I was looking on the Gap website and I was looking at the Dapper Dan collab as well. When I had filtered over, I saw that they had the kids track jacket and I was like, oh wait, why they didn't make this for kids? And I was like, you know what, they probably did, but it probably did sell out. And then I got on and sure enough on like StockX, it's like $300 for the jacket. Damn, damn. So late to the draw. And the campaign looks kind of fire too. The Palace Gap varsity jacket, it was sold out last night. And ooh, I think they're restocking actually. It looks like they've been restocking stuff because the track bottoms are back, but the track top is gone. This was another fit that I like. I actually want to rock this. I feel like this is so not normally my style, but I'm also like in a different, I don't know, I'm feeling like I'm in a different phase with the looks. It's giving a little bit more mask for mask on this side. But I'm feeling this though. Low key, whole fit. I actually would rock. And then I do like this one right here. Child. And as mask for mask as my sissy behind can give it. God bless. But I love this shirt. I feel like I would rock this in an oversized. I think they have this one model rocking it. Like this is definitely like how I would give it up. Not the adults buying up the extra large kids track jacket, trying to fit up in somebody's little piece of oh, and then they got this like I'm not really fan of like flags and stuff like that, especially if they're not like the Ghanaian flag or something. Like I don't know if I feel comfortable rocking like flags like that. That's just me. But I mean, I might let it slide for this moment. And then let's get into the varsity jacket because I feel like varsity jackets are always like a fave. Oh, let me show the track jacket that we keep talking about. Yeah, I like this collab, Morgan. I think I might cop a couple of these things today. I might go to the Gap store on 42nd actually and see if I can see some of these things in person. Would y'all like that? Maybe we can get a little try on situation going. Maybe we could do that. This is cute. I need to get my spring fashions up because the weather is slowly getting warmer. But no, I really want this rugby shirt so bad. Um, I can scroll, and then they've got like a PAL, similar to how they did the DAP. Gap hoodies for the Dapper Dan collab. They also did a PAL. Um, a couple of Gap tees collab logo with the P logo, the Palace P logo in place of the P in the Gap's original logo, which is, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this logo. Yes, do it live if it's in the store. Show us in real time. I got you. I got you. I'm gonna go later. I'm gonna go later because I want to go to get cupcakes, my customary thing on my days off. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the hoodies. I'm not really pressed for the hoodies or the hats. I do like the backpack. They've got like a little backpack. Let me see if I can show you. It's basic. The backpack is hella basic, actually. I mean, unless you're like a Palace stan or you're trying to resell this, but this also isn't flying off the racks and it has 3 stars. What's the T? Cannot fit anything in the backpack. More of a fanny pack that turns into a small backpack or a kid-sized backpack. Unable to fit a 12-inch laptop. So this ain't a big bag. Better for the kids, or if you're just trying to travel real light and just wanted to throw something on your back, maybe a couple books real quick. But okay. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. And the kid stuff is so cute. So cute for the children. And the kids got the full tracksuit. Look at him swagged out. Look at him giving in this tracksuit. I need this shit. I need that motherfucker right there. I need that tracksuit. That's cute. That's mad cute. Yes, Young King. Yes. I need to give this. Like I'm a cop this just so I could like serve this effect right here with the fitted and all. This is gonna be cute. I'm gonna do that. I'm not really like a chinos dude. Like I feel like khakis, it's gotta be like a really weird kind of like interesting design on the khakis. Oh, that's fire. That is such a fire side profile. I want this. I'm gonna get this. I'm getting this. I'm getting this for me. He looks so good in that. Exactly. Exactly. I feel like I want it with a good denim, a good like light baggy denim. There's these daily paper jeans I have my eye on. But anyway, the latest in the recent rollouts from Gap, and I think that this was like a good job on their part and a good job on Richard's part. And they did the campaign featuring a bunch of skateboarders naturally since Palace is um, a skateboard brand. Love that. And look at Melanie C. That was Mel C. If y'all didn't recognize. That was our good girl Mel C from the Spice Girls. That was our good Sporty Spice. And see, once again, Sporty Spice in the sports, the skateboard collab with Gap, trying to kind of marry all of these pop cultural moments together, something for the old heads, something for the youngins to enjoy. Very much a cross-generational marketing ploy. I see you. I see you, Gap. I fucking see it. Oh, that is so cute. And the backpack too. Okay, well, obviously the backpack's for kids because he has that backpack on. This is dope. Interesting. I wonder how that's gonna perform. Was that the Full House house? Right. I thought that was the Full House house too, but I didn't want to speak out of turn and be dumb. But I think that's the Full House crib as well. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to catch the screenshot. Yeah, that's it. That's it. They're really working. And so we're gonna get a lot of these kind of Da Vinci Code-esque kind of layerings of various American kind of quintessential pop culture moments. This is gonna be very interesting. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. We'll see how it goes. But Gap is already, doing well since Richard arrived. I think I think investors are already kind of like feeling good with the way that they're kind of pumping him as like this messiah to the Gap. Wait, it isn't, but it reminds me of it. Okay, well, there I am talking out my ass, just like I was trying not to, but thank you. All right, I think that's all I have for today. We talked about the Zendaya and the looks on the carpet to promote challengers. I can't wait to see more. We talked about what else? What else? What else? What did we just finish talking about? We talked about Ice Spice and the Alexander Wang thing. They should have, what I was saying before was they should have dropped that the day before when the earthquake came out and she was like, you know, this ass be clapping. Imagine that would have dropped and then shortly after we would have seen the giant Ice Spice coming through. Ooh, that would have been perfect. That would have been perfect. They were a little too late for that one. And then also, I think that, you know, for, like I said, so many people I think are not necessarily aware of the Alexander Wang scandal. So him bringing this out and his attempt to kind of synonymize himself with, you know, whoever's the hot young thing, the hot young rapper, I think that could go over well with people who are ignorant to him or maybe don't necessarily care so much because let's face it, like being a bad person isn't necessarily going to get you canceled, and we're learning that more and more every day. Um, and then lastly, what else did we talk about? What did we talk about? The Gap. Yes, Richard DIckson on his shit. I'm about to go to the Gap in a little bit and try on that stuff for size so we could take a look at it. Hopefully I walk out with that rugby. Hopefully they have it in my size. Hoping. How long before he has a fashion show do you think? I think, well, one, I think that he's gonna do what he's been doing lately is those shows that are kind of like before or after the main Fashion Week seasons. He's been doing these kind of like trying to shake up the Fashion Week calendar and be this like rebellious, no rules kind of thing. He's been showing in and out of the Fashion Week calendar. So I feel like the debut show could possibly be one of those things if he's not showing by like this September. I feel like he might show as early as this September. If not, it's going to be something like during Christmas or something like late summer because, you know, he also is like more so like when are people enjoying themselves? When are people out? When are people active? You know, when are people paying attention the most? So I feel like I could either see him dropping it like on a summer or winter vibe or doing it directly September, like this upcoming September. But we'll see. If it doesn't happen this September, we'll check back here and talk about it. But yeah, do y'all have any other things you wanted to talk about? Thank you again for joining. Please go ahead and subscribe to my account, to my channel if you haven't already. Please go ahead and share this with your people. Can't wait to do this again next Tuesday evening around, I believe, like 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be on here again talking about all the things. If you want to join the private Yungfleur Live Garden chat, that's my private chat on Instagram where we talk about all the fashion things 24/7. And I'm able to let y'all know when I'm going live. And you don't have to worry about things like social media notifications that don't do the notifications when they're supposed to be notificating. Whatever, we move. Thank you so much for joining on. I will see y'all again very soon. Be well, be blessed, be beautiful, and have a great week. See you. Bye-bye.